This year, my dishwasher broke, my water softener died, then I had to replace the tires on my wife's car. I had 2 planned weddings, 2 boys. Then I replaced the flooring in my house. And then my upstairs furnace went out, all in 12 months. That's 7 big expenses this year. Yours not over yet, is probably what you're saying. Most retirement calculators out there ask for one number. What are your annual expenses? And then they adjust that for inflation. Free retirement calculators that you use online ask for that single number and said, hey, your Monte Carlo is this and you're 90 and you're free to retire. Well, what happens when you incur real life in your retirement plan? So here's the truth. Your retirement spending will not be one number. It will not be. This is a real year for me. I didn't make these events up. Expenses come in waves, and sometimes it could be a tidal wave. I personally set aside $250 a month. That goes through my mortality every month, $250 for unplanned expenses, like water heater, like tires, things like that kind of just come up. I guess tires could have been better planned, but water heater, dishwasher, that kind of stuff, under $1,000 kind of things. Setting aside, $3,000 a year for those things is a pretty decent number. I found. I also look 10 years ahead. If you follow my channel, I have 10 years in bucket 1. That's money that I need in the next 10 years from my assets, net of my income, like Social Security, a pension, anything like that. What do I need to solve the equation from my assets? I have 10 years. Now, I put big one-time purchases in there, like 2 weddings, like a new furnace. All those were inside of my plan. If you're retiring on some one number, like the 4% rule, your plan's going to collapse when you have a year like 2025. Now, some of these things you'll say, hey, Joe, were a choice. Yes, they were a choice, but they're real life. They're going to be a choice sometime in your life. This isn't a theoretical risk. This is real life. You're going to need tires. You're going to, you don't have to, contribute to a wedding, but my wife and I chose to. And this is the major concern I have for my own plan and other retirees is controlling expenses, not only from inflation, but from just real life, just using one single number. I hate when people would show me a plan with one number. Here's my expenses. It's $5,000 a month. That's not real life. After 7 years retired, controlling expenses is number 1 for me. Taxes are painful, okay? Paying too many taxes. And I use my Boldin software to help me manage taxes, and I probably spend more time on that. But spending can make a plan fail. That's why I think it's more important. Today I'm going to go through 12 major pitfalls of poor expense planning, using like one number instead of detailing it. So I'm going to go a layer deeper on 12, okay? I'm going to try to do it pretty quick for you. Number 1, one-time and surprise expenses don't average out. They cluster. Things like my water heater, tires, HVAC system, roof repairs, all those things, they tend to all happen in clumps. And when they cluster, you've got to make some drastic moves with your money to have money to pay for that. They blow up a 4% rule. It just bad things. It just does not reflect reality. Okay, one-time expenses and surprises should be planned. Is my point here. Number 2, the 4% rule assumes smooth, constant spending. Real life explodes that assumption. Sequence of return risk is rough, but sequence of spending is deadly. Replacing flooring, replacing a furnace, 2 weddings. I mentioned all these things. 4% rule doesn't handle that at all. 3, retirement calculators ask for one number, which hides the risk. If you put everything to one bucket, it assumes every year looks the same. There's no big spikes. There's no age-related shifts in your spending. I'll talk about that more in a second. And no irregular cash flows. Everything just flows perfectly like your 4% rule says. But then here's where it fails. This gives you a false sense of security to spend. So if you happen to have a year where nothing unplanned happens, you increase your spending. You go out and you splurge. And then the following year, your unplanned expenses explode up because they cluster and you've spent twice as much as you should have. You may even delay retirement because you're not factoring in how your spending goes down as you age. The go, slow go, no go spending. You've heard of that. You can increase taxes when you have to sell equities at the wrong time. More on that. All of these can be very easily planned in the Boldin software I use. It's super easy. I modeled these by myself in a spreadsheet, and it was a disaster. It was cumbersome. It was hard to update year to year. Boldin makes it super easy, and it's the first link you'll come to. And they got a Black Friday special going on right now till December 1st for 17% off. Number 4, expense planning lets you build buckets with purpose. Okay, when you detail expenses, you can put in a $250 a month reserve. You can put in one-time expenses. You can put in go-go spending, slow go spending, no-go spending for different periods of life. I use go-go spending from my current age 61 to 75, and then from 75 to 80 is slow go, and then from 80 on is no-go. Okay. Now, maybe I'll be different than that, but that's what I got in the plan. You can also have a healthcare, a medical bucket. So if you have medical conditions where you're going to have some procedure in 3 years or 5 years, you can put that in there. Number 5, your spending changes drastically as you age. I already talked about this. Go, slow go, no go spending. Big failure I see here when people don't factor this in is they work too long because they think their expenses are going to keep going up when they're 90, 95 years old. Number 6, planning for big expenses avoids you selling assets at the wrong time. I have in my bucket 1, 10 years of these one-time expenses, and they're in non-equity accounts. They're in CDs and money market funds and bonds, not in an equity where my furnace fails and then I have to sell an equity. Number 7, cash flow spikes affect your taxes. A single large withdrawal, like for a wedding, a vehicle, a roof, and it comes up unplanned, or you just deal with it, can push you into a higher tax bracket, can throw you into IRMA charges for Medicare on your supplements, can hit Social Security taxing. It can have a big impact, and you can smooth that out with a plan. Simple as maybe you take some money out on December 31 and take some money out on January 1. If you're buying a car, you take half out in 1 year and half in the next year. It only shows up 50% in each year and can help you manage through that minefield of taxes. Number 8, and this is a big deal, detailed expenses reveal lifestyle creep. Let me explain. Many retirees think they're stable, but then they start creating their plan and see some patterns. When you have to put it on a piece of paper, hey, we're spending, $10,000 a year on home upgrades. We're buying a new car every 4 to 5 years. You have to enter that into your plan. You're like, what are we doing here? Look at that, detail that budget. New hobbies with big upfront costs. Look, you're spending this much every year on these hobbies. When you itemize, you see these reoccurring things, and you can have some good discussions and decisions about it. Number 9, helps you manage your portfolio, how much you have in equities and how much you have in fixed. I already talked about this. If I need it in the next 10 years, it's in fixed. Okay, that's my rule. Um, Number 10 gives you the confidence to spend. Confidence to spend. Most retirees get a little paralyzed, especially in the first 4 or 5 years of retirement, because they don't like seeing their assets go down in value. But when you have a plan and you have a plan that's structured for reality, one time unplanned expenses happening, you can spend with confidence. The hot water heater breaks, the dishwasher breaks, you need new tires. Hey, it's in the plan. It's in the plan. It's in the plan, right? Gives you confidence to spend and you're not scared. Number 11 helps your spouse and you stay on the same page. You can look at these detailed expenses and you can say, hey, hey, we got a tax spike here. If we buy that car in January versus December, or we do that home remodel in, uh, you know, March versus November, we can save this much in taxes because of the way some of the things lined out. Boldin, again, makes this very easy and graphical. You can just see a spike in your taxes if you put these one-time expenses in just where you want them. You go, what the heck happens there? Oh, that's because we're buying a car there. If we split that across years or buy that 1 year later, it smooths it all out and you may save $10,000, $15,000 on taxes. That's kind of nice. Number 12, it allows you to adjust your plan early instead of reacting late. If you see your 10-year plan and you notice big spikes, like I said, you can make changes to it. So it allows you to adjust and say, hey, I got this big car that we're going to need, or this roof on the house, 2 years ahead of time, 5 years ahead of time. You could pull that money into a fixed account so you don't have to, make any drastic moves. You've got it set aside. Maybe you buy a CD and just let it go, and then, maybe it's a no penalty CD and you just let it keep going. And whenever you need the money, you cash it out. Anyway, early adjustments keep you safe. Late reactions cost you money. Okay. Does your plan include one-time expenses, unplanned expenses, go spending, slow go spending, no go spending? Does your plan include that? I think it's critical. It's critical to mine. My software allows me to put that in very easily and graphically see problems that I can improve upon. Let me know in the comments. It's Joe out.